Hello chess friends! Today we have very interesting story about beating a record with the highest streak of non-losing games in standard chess. November 2018 will be remembered as a month in which the most of super tournaments are played at the same time. World Championship Match Carlsen vs Caruana in London, Women's World Championship in Khanty-Mansiysk, Russia, Tata Steel Chess India 2018 in Kolkata, and Shenzhen Chess Masters 2018 in China. Chess audience all around the globe will remember this month as a month of super chess. Beside the fact that in November 2018 world could get new chess emperor, someone else in my opinion deserves the title of a superhero. That is a Chinese super grandmaster Liren Ding. This Chinese prodigy was born in 1992 and up to now he was 3 times Chinese champion. What he was done in previous 15 months will be remembered forever and draw his name in the Hall of Fame of a world chess. The last time Liren Ding lost tournament game in standard chess was on August 9, 2017 against Anish Giri, and after that loss 459 days he was unbeaten. In those awesome 459 days he played exactly 100 games. He got 21 wins and 79 draws. But what is magnificent is average rating of his opponents in those 100 games. Fantastic 2,701. That is absolutely remarkable. In last couple of months, most of people were talking about ex-world champion Mikhail Tal, who got 95 games long unbeaten streak in 1973-74 as a current world record holder. Once Liren Ding got his 96th game without loss, most of people thought that chess world got new world record holder and Chinese officials even organized a party. But there was very interesting article on ChessBase website about world records in number of games without loss in standard chess. In fact, current world record holder was not Mikhail Tal. It was Grandmaster Sergei Tivyakov, who got 110 games long streak without loss in 2004-2005. Although among these 110 games, Tivyakov had opponents like Carlsen, Ivanchuk, Aronian, Rajabov, Drev, Wojtaszek and others, he played also many less important open tournaments, and the average rating of his opponents wasn't even close to the number Liren Ding achieved, which is impressive 2,701. But Liren Ding's non-losing streak was stopped on November 11th. In round 7 of Shenzhen Chess Master 2018, against French Super Grandmaster Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, Liren Ding lost the game. So Tivyakov remains as a world record holder, and we need definitely to salute to that result. But Liren Ding's achievement will be written with gold letters in world chess history. Now we are going to see the game, which will have a title as Historical Game or the game which stops breaking the record. In this game, French Grandmaster Maxime Vachier-Lagrave played as white and Liren Ding played as black. The game started e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, Italian game, and black's reply was knight f6 to knight's defense. At this moment now, the move d3 was played, and that is the most common move, but other options are knight c3 and knight g5. Knight g5 is, for beginners, maybe very interesting continuation, because it attacks twice the weakest square on the board, f7 square. Now, the only defense is to play d5, and if white takes e5, which is the best move is knight a5. If black decides to win this pawn, knight takes d5, now white sacrifices the knight, knight f7, king f7, queen f3, king e6. We see how black is a piece up, but his king is in the middle of the board. Knight c3 attacking third time the knight on d5, knight b4 defending the knight, short castle, c6 defending d5 square, but d4. So although black is up a piece for a pawn, his king is in the fire in the center of the board, and position is not considered to be good for black. That is why players don't take knight d5, and after e d5 the main line is knight a5. Bishop b5 check, c6, dc6, bc6, bishop goes back to e2, that is the best move. And now after more or less forced moves, h6, knight f3, e4, knight e5, bishop d6, d4, black takes en passant e takes d3, knight must retake, queen c7 stopping the castle because h2 is hanging, forcing white to lose one more move for h3, and after castle and castle, this is the position in which white is a pawn up, but black has compensation in much faster and better development at the moment. But this line was not played in our game. After knight f6, French grandmaster continues with d3. Bishop c5, castle, castle, and now rook e1 move. This line is rarely played. Knight c3 and c3 moves are played much more often. And the idea is to support e4 pawn and prepare d4 push in the center. d6, c3, and now maybe the first surprise in the game. a5 move. Although this move is not novelty, it is very rarely played. Black with this move wants to stop white playing b4 and a4 to get space advantage on the queen side. Continuation is bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, and now again very rarely played move g5. This is the idea which, for example, Pavel Elyanov used against Anish Giri in Norway Chess 2016, and actually Elyanov lost this game, Girish won, because this move is very risky. It will open up his own king very early. Bishop goes back to g3, bishop a7, with the idea of not losing a tempo after d4 push. Knight goes to a3, aiming for knight b5, and now novelty. Liren Ding introduced this knight h7 move, which is a novelty in this position. After knight d2, g4 move, knight b5, bishop b6, Ding wants to keep his dark squared bishop, bishop b3, a4, bishop c2, and h5. Ding continues with his plan. He wants to attack on the king side using his pawns, and he threatens directly to trap white's bishop on g3. So now h4 is forced move for white. This is the first moment in which Ding makes mistake. He actually played d5 here, and this is too much aggressive in this position. Much better was gh3, and after queen takes h5, queen g5, and after trading of the queens, white can play knight c4. It is a little bit better for white for sure, but black can play this endgame. It is not lost far away from that. But he actually played d5. And now Vachier-Lagrave plays excellent move, striking the center with d4. After d4, maybe now knight c4 was a little bit better, but he took d5, and black played rook a5. That was actually the idea of knight c4 move, to control a5 square and not allow this rook to activate. c4, e3, the best move, f takes e3, knight b4, a3, and knight d3. This looked good for black, but actually it isn't. Now white missed to play simple move rook e2, which will actually put him in the winning position. After, for example, bishop f5, b4, a b3, and knight b3, now rook is under attack, this knight on d3 is in trouble, and black will most likely lose this game. But Vachier-Lagrave decided to sacrifice the exchange here. He played b4, and after a b3, knight b3, black took the rook on e1. But although now white is down in exchange, his position is still much better. Queen takes e1, now rook must move because it's under attack, so rook a6, c5, c5 move, bishop a7, and queen b1, attacking the knight on h7, which is actually trapped and cannot be defended second time, so the only move is f5. And this is the moment in which Vachier-Lagrave makes mistake. The best continuation was knight a7, rook a7, knight d4. Now he will win this pawn on f5, whatever black plays. King h8, knight f5, bishop takes f5, bishop takes f5. Although still black is up in exchange, his pieces have no coordination at all. White has bishop pair, black's king is weak, and white has big advantage in this position. But Vachier-Lagrave took en passant e takes f6. Now after knight takes f6, this knight is out of trouble, and position is just a little bit better for white, but very complicated. Knight takes a7, rook a7, knight d4, queen e7. Here it was played bishop f4, which is fine move, but interesting continuation was, for example, c6. And after queen e3 check, bishop f2, and after queen e7, queen b5 with queen g5 idea. After, let's say, b6, queen takes g5, queen g5, queen g7, and then bishop b3 check, activating the bishop, and after king h7, exchanging of the queens, and knight b5 with definitely advantage for white. But in the game, after queen e7, bishop f4 was played. Queen took the pawn on c5, bishop b3 check, king g7, bishop goes to e6, rook a4, queen d3, rook a6, bishop c8, rook c8, and now forced tactical line, queen a6, sacrificing the queen. And of course it's very bad to capture that queen, because there is knight e6, white wins the queen, and white will be a piece up, and white has easy win. That is why at this moment black is forced to do the counter queen sacrifice, queen d4. Queen f1 is the best move now, queen e4, rook d1. So white is better here, but it is still not big problem for Ding. And this is maybe critical moment of the game. Probably the best move for Ding here was b6 or eventually rook f8, but Ding thought that he can use this passed pawn on c5 he has, and he was not careful enough and played c5. That move is bad because it now allows white to put rook on a d6 square, and thanks to this move and later queen a1, white got into the winning position. Rook d6, queen e7, and great move queen a1, pinning this knight on f6, and now black is in a huge trouble. His position is actually lost now. King f7, bishop e5, knight e4, rook h6. There are no chances to survive in this position. Queen took h4, queen f1 check, king e7, rook h7 check, and king e6. Now in the game, Vachier-Lagrave played bishop c7, but he had easier win in a forced line, queen f7 check, king takes the bishop, and then rook h5. Queen must take on h5, king goes back to d6, queen g6 check, king e5, queen g7 check, king d6, and after queen b7, let's say rook e8 because both rook and the knight are under attack, and a4 pawn for white is much more dangerous than black's c-passed pawn, and white easily wins the game. But as we said, white played bishop to c7, and now since there is a checkmate threat, queen f7, black must sacrifice an exchange, and this is also of course winning position for white. It was played now g3, queen f3, queen h2 check, and after queen to b1, simply queen takes the pawn on h5. queen a2 check, king f3. There is nothing now with queen f2 check because king simply goes to h4 and black's position is completely lost. So he didn't make that check queen f2. He actually played king to d7 in this position. Rook takes the pawn on b6, queen f2 check, and again king goes to h4, and after queen takes g2, simply this small forced sequence, and now the final position in which rook took on g6, and now Liren Ding resigned the game, and he admitted actually here that his non-losing streak will stop at the number of 100, because of course if he takes the rook on d6, then queen takes on g3, and this is easily winning pawn endgame because queens will be traded as well. If you like this video chess lesson, please click on like, share or subscribe to my channel for more videos.